much, Mr. Carlos Brana. We are on board of this spectacular Falcon 8X. Thank you very much for having us on board, and what a nice aircraft. We would like to first congratulate you for coming again to MIBA and showcase the show the aircraft here in MIBA show. So we would like to understand, how are you preparing for the growing market of the long-range, big-size aircraft here in the region?
First of all, thank you very much, for arranging this interview. It's always a pleasure and an honor, to speak with you. As a matter of fact, just to answer this your question regarding the preparation of the future, first of all, we are coming at MIBA. MIBA is a very important event in the Middle East for us, because it's a way for us to show our planes. So we brought the 8X. The 8X is already successful in the Middle East, and we are very happy of that outcome. We have some users who are order again an 8X. They already had an 8X, and they ordered a new 8X. So we are very happy with that. This 8X provides an exceptional comfort for the passengers, and that's the reason why it is successful. Now, talking about the future, as you know, we have two programs under development. One is the 6X, and the 6X is going to come soon in the hangars of the people, and we have already some customers in the Middle East. So the 6X will provide an additional comfort because of its cross-section. This is the biggest cross-section of every purpose-made business jets.
Nice.
So the good news is that this additional space will allow the people, of course, to move easily around along the cabin, and we will be, of course, very. We give a lot of attention to this comfort. We know that as of today, the 6X is a very quiet airplane. We already flew the airplane, in South, in the Americas, also in the Middle East, in Asia, and so on. We made a world tour in July, and actually we could check this level of quietness, which is even comparable to the 8X, which is already a reference in our market. So that's great, because the wide body in the Middle East is important, and the 6X is very well adapted to that.
Exactly.
Now, talking about the second program, which is a 10X.
That's my interest. I want to understand more.
It's even bigger. So this one is clearly a little flat in the sky. If you have the opportunity to come and visit 10X mock-up, either in France or in the United States, we'll be pleased, to show you how it is. You will discover a new world. It's a new way to be comfortable in an airplane which will fly one shot over 15 hours.
Oh, 15 hours.
Yeah. So, the 10X is our answer to this segment, what we call ultra long range, very high speed market. Ultra long range because 7,500 nautical miles, very high speed because the maximum speed is Mach 0.925.
Wow.
So with that level of technology, comfort, and so on, we think that the Middle East customers will be convinced with this airplane.
Yes, exactly. In Middle East, usually they care first about the safety. Of course, Dassault have a top-notch safety record. Second, they look for luxury. It's all about luxury. Middle East clients, they like to fly with their families, with their friends all over the world. They care about long-range aircraft, spacious, top-notch technology on board. So I think the 10X is going to have all of these configurations.
That's correct.
Yeah. How many passengers is the 8X is going to accommodate? How many seats?
Alors, for example, in this arrangement here, you have 4 in the front, 4 here, and you have 6 behind us. So you have a 14 passenger airplane. You can put 2 more here, for example, and you have a 16. Now, every airplane, in particular business jets, they are certified for 19 passengers, plus crew. So that's a certification rule. Now, of course, if you fly 19 passengers in a business jet, it's not that comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's why you usually, I would say, average, depending on the customer, their culture, and so on, you can fly 4 or 5 passengers. You can fly 10 passengers, but it's very very rare that you go to 16 passengers, for example.
Okay. Very good. Post-pandemic, the demand of the clients has shifted a little bit. How do you experience the demand after the post-pandemic, after the recovery of the pandemic?
It's a very good question. Actually, what we saw, and it's very interesting, is that the pandemic created a need for transportation because, unfortunately, the airliners were stuck on ground and there was a restriction on the flights. The business aviation was a solution. And actually, a lot of people, they flew with business aviation, to have their meetings for business and so on and so on. It happens that some of them, when they started testing business aviation, they kept using business aviation because, the main advantage of business aviation is about time saving.
Yes.
And when you are a businessman or businesswoman, you like time saving. And it's true that, for example, let me take an example which for you will make sense. Let's suppose we are here in Dubai. We want to fly for a business appointment in Jeddah. And then after we have another appointment in Kuwait, somewhere. And then we go to wherever, Lebanon, and then we come back here, etc. This is something that in 2 days you can accomplish with a business jet, easily.
Yes.
Easily. Of course, if the duration of the meetings is not 10 hours every day, but let's say it's easy to accomplish that in 2 days. With an airline, it will take you maybe 4 or 5 days. And this is not necessarily a loss of time, but it's more time.
Yes.
More time that you spend traveling and so on. And this is the advantage. So when you test it, you cannot go back to something. So if you can afford business aviation, you keep with business aviation. So that's why. The second aspect also is that, 2020 was a bad year for others because people, they lost the visibility in their business. So, when you want to invest, particularly in such a tool for business, it's difficult when you have a lack of visibility of what's going to come. But in 2021, when the companies recovered that kind of visibility, then they started to order again. So, in fact, what happened is that they deferred their order in 2020, and there was an additional demand in 2021. And this cumulated with the newcomers in business aviation.
Great answer. We are here in the Middle East for 20 years, and we understand and we support exactly 100% what you're saying. We see the demand, we see the shift of the business aviation interest. Even with the people who were traveling commercial, they're now interested in the business aviation on the private jets. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for giving us the tour in this spectacular Falcon 8X. Mr. Carlos Brana, Executive Vice President, Civil Aircraft of Dassault Aviation. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.